Well, hi there, and welcome to this orientation session. My name is Lucas Simmons. I'm your holistic nutrition practitioner, and I'm coming your way here from my wee little house in The Hague in the Netherlands, in South Holland, to be more precise, right by the ocean, where fall is just gloriously unfurling her beautiful, beautiful self, and we are glorifying the beautiful things outdoors and the bounty of the season. I hope this finds you well. I've got a little bit to run through, and this time I've written down notes because I want to stay on topic and I really want to drive home this point of we got some good stuff in the Good Food Network. That's what this session is about. So, if you've ever felt stuck with things like chronic inflammation or any kind of chronic disease diagnosis, whether it's an autoimmune thing, whether you've got histamine involvement, whether there is potentially some mast cell activation to the picture, whether it's like, I go to the doctor, I get my tests back, and they say, no, everything looks great, but I still feel like garbage. If that's the case, then listen, I've got some stuff for you. Let me close this. Much better. So we're going to be doing a whole lot of good things in the Good Food Network. I have spent years detangling complex nutrition stuff and the chaos that tends to come with it to make it easy, accessible, and super clear on what the work is and what the invitation is, as a matter of fact. So by the end of this call, you are going to know exactly what we're doing in the Good Food Network. That's what this is all about, and how the Good Food Network can support you each week, and if this is a good fit for you. I want you to think of the Good Food Network as like your nutritional GPS. That's the kind of stuff that we do in the Good Food Network. That's what I want this to be, your nutritional GPS. Um, without that recalculating voice that used to play. Do you remember those when you had that in your car in the 90s, early 2000s? Yeah. All right, so I like to start with what are the top 10 ways tied to whatever it is we're doing in the network. So each 2 months, we do a brand new topic. And for the month of September and October, we are diving into the gut as a metabolic foundation. And if when we look after the gut, a lot of metabolic stuff starts to resolve itself. So we're doing the gut as this foundational piece to being well. So I like to start with the is this you kind of scenario. Let's start with the top 10 ways to know that your gut is struggling. Are you ready? I've got these in order. This is how I see it in my clients. Number one, super low energy. Hard time getting through the tasks of the day, might show up as brain fog, might show up as like my capacity to go through what it was I was supposed to do this afternoon is like not what it was when I was me this morning, or the need to nap in the middle of the afternoon, really not having that stamina to go through, or being completely exhausted all of the time, even though you're sleeping well or seem to be sleeping well. That's the first one. Number two, kind of part two of that, the brain fog piece, but more than this, the cognitive health going downhill and memory issues starting to surface. The retell is a little bit slower. The recall, rather, is a little bit slower. Are you struggling with this? It's my second one. Number three in this scenario, autoimmune disorders. That's like big red lights, big red signals. Why? Because 70% of your immune system lives in the gut. What is an autoimmune disorder but driving of the immune system that's in overdrive and having a hard time? Where do you think that all started? Peel back the layers, and I'm going to guarantee you it started in the gut. So anybody with an autoimmune disorder, what's an autoimmune disorder? Would I have an autoimmune disorder? Well, let me name some of the biggest ones that I see in my clientele. Hashimoto's, Graves', those are tied to the thyroid. I just found out this year that glaucoma, which runs in my family, is an autoimmune disorder. Scleroderma, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis. Yeah, no thumbs up for psoriatic arthritis, but it's one of them. There's so many. Lupus, There's so many. Celiac is an autoimmune disorder, actually. There's so many of these. There's really quite a few. If you have a question about is mine an autoimmune disorder or not, do a Google search. You will find out the answer. So if you have an autoimmune disorder, I bet you it started in your gut. Yes. That was number 3. Number 4, you're not going to be surprised by this. Histamine issues. Oh my God, Luca, is everything a histamine thing? No, but you'll be quite amazed at how much histamine can have a role to play, especially when the gut is involved. In the gut, you break down extra histamine. When your gut's not working well, you can't break down that extra histamine, and that now adds to your symptoms and is one of the drivers of the symptoms. That's only one of the ways the gut is impacted. There's way more complicated things I won't get into because that's not what this is about. But if you have histamine issues, or if you know you have a mast cell activation issue, which has histamine as one of the pieces to the picture here, yes, my friend, the gut is asking for help. Number 5, thyroid troubles. So thyroid troubles, for sure, like I talked about earlier, Hashimoto's and Graves' disease. But if you have an underactive thyroid, you are hypothyroid. If you have an overactive thyroid, you are hyperthyroid, both presenting very differently. But both, I guarantee you, have a gut component at the root. In fact, if you pull away the onion layers of what's going on in the body, what's at the center but gut stuff? Another way to say this, are you on Synthroid or levothyroxine? I once had a client, when I said, do you have any thyroid issues? Nope. We did an intake of her medication. She's on Synthroid. I said, oh, you're on Synthroid. Do you have a thyroid issue? Oh, no one's ever said that to me. Yeah. So many different ways to try to figure out what's going on. Is your cholesterol numbers rising? Are they rising? How's your thyroid? Ugh, right? This is all of these. And I will really, if you are juggling any kinds of these chronic inflammatory conditions or where there's thyroid, autoimmune, histamine issues, I really like they matter. These kinds of things matter even more because to me, it's your body. What am I trying to say here? It's your body trying to tell us something and asking for help. Okay. Number 6, what's another big way that your gut is struggling? Pooping is a struggle, whether it's you're constipated or you have diarrhea or you vacillate between the two or you have IBS. All could be the same, all could be different, all are included in the pooping category. Are you having a hard time pooping? Do you poop less than once a day? If you're not pooping once a day, where it's well formed and easy to pass, we need some help for you. If you are pooping more than 3 times a day and it's loose all the time, we also need to address what's going on in your gut for you. Both of those are very clear indicators something's not working at the gut level directly. Number 7, this is my favorite one. Only because like, it was one of those that for me, when somebody pointed this out while I was in nutrition school, I was like, oh my God, how is that not obvious? How come I never noticed that as an obvious one? So maybe you'll find the same. What's number 7? The list of foods you cannot tolerate is getting longer. What? Oh yeah, you start with, well, I can't tolerate gluten. I'll take gluten out. Okay, great. Awesome. That's nice. Oh my God, 4 years later, wow, I can't tolerate dairy. I'll take dairy out. Oh yeah, I feel much better. Okay, awesome. Well, good for you. Sorta. But also now all of a sudden, oh wait, now I can't tolerate salicylates, specific foods that have salicylates in them. Oh, interessant. Oh, now I can't tolerate FODMAPs. Oh yeah, interessant. Oh, now I can't, and the list goes on and on and on. I can't tolerate beets. Oh, don't add cabbage to my list. I can't do shellfish. If the list of foods you cannot tolerate keeps getting longer, you're not fixing the issue. It's been going on for a time, and now it's just trying to scream at you for help. Yeah. Number 8. This will be maybe surprising for some. Insomnia. Sleeping, getting to sleep, staying asleep, getting good deep rest relies on good digestion, believe it or not. To fall asleep, you need to make hormones and neurotransmitters in the body. Do you know that every neurotransmitter and every hormone is based on the nutrients you get from digestion? And if you're not digesting well, which is a gut issue, hooray, it's a party. You can't sleep and you're up all night. I don't know how to turn those off, by the way. And they're kind of fun, so who cares? But yeah, if you have insomnia, in particular, actually falling asleep more than anything is a really big indicator to me that your gut is struggling and contributing to what's going on. Number 9, this is an obvious one to me. Acid reflux and or, because both can happen in the same bodies, hiatal hernia. If you've ever had a hiatal hernia, if you struggle with acid reflux, there's quite a few potential reasons why. Histamine is one for sure, but it's not the only one. But there's a lot of potential things behind the scenes going on that tell us something's struggling. And I'll tell you, if you have acid reflux or if you've ever been diagnosed with a hiatal hernia, it's because your digestion has been struggling for a time. And digestion now directly impacts your gut, which now drives everything outwards from there. I want you to think of your gut as that ground zero. It's the foundational piece that when we look after that is going to help so much other stuff. And when you can't break down the foods, you start to have acid reflux or hiatal hernia or low B12 status is another way that I see it with clients, even though they're eating foods with B12. All of these tell me your gut is struggling. Number 10, because this is who I serve, I cannot tell you how many times I see this in my clientele. And when we start to look after this piece, so much actually starts to resolve. Hard time moving through perimenopause and menopause. How you move through perimenopause and menopause is a report card on your metabolic health in particular. And your gut is a really big foundation of that. And I guarantee you, if you're having any struggles, if the symptoms increase, if your histamine stuff starts to show up when you're going through the change, which is what happened with me. If you are having hot flashes that won't quit, baby, there is some gut stuff at the root here that needs help. These are the top 10 ways. I have way more, and I'm sharing them all in the Good Food Network. I won't bore you with them all. But if you struggle with any of these, I want you to know that if or not there is a histamine issue, if or not there is an autoimmune issue, it doesn't matter. What we're doing in the Good Food Network is going to serve you well. We have things for everybody to come and join us at this table. As always, in everything that I do, it is imperative to me that everybody feels they are invited to this table. So the Good Food Network is going to be for you. That's nice. Hooray. Well, let's get into this next section. I want to talk about why the Good Food Network exists. And then we're going to get into the secret sauce of it and why I think it's such a lovely way in for two different people. So you might see yourself in this. Okay. I think most people know, and even just through force of habit of me saying it so many times, people talking about it on Instagram and on social media and on TikTok and all of the things, and all of the health influencers are always on about the gut health. I think most people know that gut health matters. I think we've got that piece kind of figured out. You know, I took antibiotics. Oops, I got to take probiotics, or those kinds of notions and concepts. While I think a lot of it is new, I think most of us know gut health really super matters. But often, I think where people get stuck is they don't know what to do about it. They don't know how to go about it. They don't know what to do next. I mean, it's nice that gut health matters, but why do I care? And what do I do about it? People get stuck and don't move beyond it. So that's exactly why this Good Food Networks exists. This thing that I've built, it's to help guide you step by step in what are those ways to work through what to do next. So part of what this relies on is this concept. I use this a lot in both my stuff and over at Histamine Haven as well. This concept of your new superpower as consistency. So if you think of your new superpower as consistency, I want you to don that cloak of consistency. Why might that be your new superpower? And why is this at the core of the Good Food Network? Well, just for an example, there's a couple of things that are coming up in the network this week because we have new content each week. And the weekly Good Food Challenge talks about making meat stock every week. Our live session this week, because there's one every week, half hour, our live session this week talks about Gut Health Basics 101. We talk about meat stock. So I've got it in two different places. Regardless of how you're going to come into the network, everyone's going to see one or both or the other. And they're going to get the message that, oh yeah, I have to make meat stock. Well, in the module that has the weekly food challenge is, here's why meat stock is so great. Here's the difference between meat stock and bone broth. Here's why meat stock might serve you better. Do you have a histamine issue? Do this. Do you need some recipes? Here's free stuff for you, and here's printables for you. Get started. What's the work? Make a batch of meat stock. Well, that went out on Monday. Thursday, I do the live class. Hey, listen, here's why gut health is so important. What do? We make meat stock a batch a week. What? Oh my God, you said that on Monday. Yes, I did. And there's so much repetition in order to reinforce this superpower of consistency. The overall steps at the end of the month, you've got a potential 15 things you can do. And I promise you, 8 of them are repeats. So there's probably more like just 7 or 8 of them by the end of the month. But they're not small things. They seemingly are not very big, but it's this consistency of superpower where food shines. I love nutrition. It is not a way in when there's acute things going on. However, where nutrition really shines is in the establishing and the consistency of these small little steps on how to nourish yourself in order to move forward. And when you stick to this consistency, and I offer ideas on how to be consistent with it, make a batch a week. Consume it as often as you can. Does that feel too much? Make a batch every 2 weeks. You are the boss and not me. Like, you do you, boo. Do I make a batch a week? No. Do I want to? Oh, I think it would be so great. But also, I started that way. And now I'm good. And now I work it in all the time. I'm making some tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So this, this whole idea of this consistency and this idea that I repeat things inside the Good Food Network is there for the person who's busy, or if you've tried programs before, you felt overwhelmed, if you've ever found this stuff kind of like, oh my God, it's like piling up on me. I simplify things. I bring on this idea of consistency and what are those big hitters that are going to help you move forward in addressing some of the issues that are driving your symptoms. So if you're worried you don't have time, I want you to know that you don't need a huge block of time in order to get good content out of the Good Food Network. If you commit to half an hour a week, you're going to be covering your bases and getting really solid stuff. Now, for the person who wants to go to full hour a week, you sure can. There's enough content for you to go to a full hour a week. Almost enough content. That's for the person who really wants to dive deep. Yeah, if you've got a little bit more time on your hands and you now say, all right, I want to get into the gut, I'm going to give an hour a week. Well, it's there for you. But I set it up thinking folks will probably just do a half hour a week. So it's there for you at whatever amount of time you want to put into the work. Yeah, there's videos. Yeah, there's printables. Yes, there's recipes. My God, so many recipes. So many ideas in there that start to invite that playing with your food and changing how it is that you feed yourself and everyone at your table. And here's the secret about this. The work that I propose is not just for you. Like, yay, it is for sure. But who else sits at your table? Do you know that gut health foods are for all of the humans? All the humans who want to stay well? Yeah, we can all do with gut support. So it doesn't matter who you're making this for. It's not like you're going to have separate meals for yourself and others. It's to feed all the humans. Oh yeah, I wanted this piece too. So if this is for anybody who is a former client of mine, If you think you've done it all before, I want you to know this. The network is not just about information, it's guidance that is practical. It is guidance that is always evolving. There's always updates into the recommendations that we've done, more fortification, more reasons why, and a deeper exploration than what we might have covered in our one-on-one sessions. So when I say this, it's to really make it clear when I built the Good Food Network, I built it for two different people in mind. The client that I'd worked with one-on-one that needs a revisit, that wants that invitation again, that needs that accountability piece that we had, where, oh yeah, Lucas said, oh yeah, we talked about this. Oh yeah, I want to work on that. Oh yeah, I want to make those symptoms disappear. Oh yeah, I have to do that. That's for you. But I also built it for the other person. The person who has at one point thought, well, I might want to work with Luca, but like that's too much time commitment, or the amount of visits is too many, or the cost in to work one-on-one with Luca is too much. I really want a more accessible point from a financial standpoint, from a time commitment standpoint. The Good Food Network is for you. Yeah. It's a one-stop shop that has all of those foundational pieces to get you set. And we're doing the gut as it pertains to metabolic health. So voila. So I'm going to give you a quick tour behind the scenes. We're going to show classes and do little micro dives into what you can expect in the Good Food Network. Let's jump on over to that right now. Once you log into the network, this is what your homepage looks like. You've got programs on the left, or you've got a widget here that says My Programs. You're going to look for GF Network. In here, I'm going to give you a very brief overview of all the pieces we've got. We've got kind of an administrative piece up top. We've got the live sessions, we've got pre-recorded content and written content. So here, where I usually say we start is get your schedule and checklist for the month set up. So you've got different ways in. Some will print some will print all. It'll be up to you. This is the day schedule of live sessions where you can join us if you'd like in person. This is your checklist to make sense of everything that you can access inside the network. You can prioritize it, and you can keep track of what it is you've gone into to see. So that's all listed there. And then each month you also get this worksheet. This is how you make the work your own inside of the network. So first order of business, when you first log in, I want you to print this guy up because you're going to need it. Each time we join for a live session, or you're going to dive into the recorded content, this is going to give you the one place to write down everything. Up top, you're going to jot down what are those symptoms. So you know the symptoms we just talked about? If you have histamine issues, I want you to write down, I have histamine issues. Any of those symptoms you feel are what we're going to be looking for to see if they shift when you put in the ideas we're presenting. And I revisit this at every class. I remind you of this so that you can get the most use out of these worksheets. And as you go through the work, you've got two sections here to write down point form what the work is. Action items about food and action items about lifestyle. For example, make a batch of meat stock every week. Jot it down. Good work. There you go. Next week, we'll talk about something else and you'll add it to your list. And any of the other pieces that you'll see, you're welcome to jot them down. That weekly food challenge we do every week, you can jot this down here and add into the list each Monday when we post it, and so on and so forth. Now, I want to give you a quick dive into the different types of sessions we've got. We've got live sessions and a pre-recorded content, much slimmer than earlier versions of the Good Food Network, in order to really help you focus in on what the important work is. The live sessions, we do one every Thursday morning. Food is medicine, they're half an hour each. And then we do a live class each month. I'm always on about the live class because I make it available for others. But if you're in the network, you get it for free, or it's included in the cost. So this class, this month, we're doing one on September 17th. It's called SOS, I Took Antibiotics, Now What? Yeah, so it's going to be about how to rebuild the gut after a round of antibiotics. Zero shaming involved, pal. We live in an amazing time. Yes, this is also for you if you've ever had a colonoscopy procedure, because that's the perfect time to do a mini microbiome reboot, which is what this is all about. Now we've also got pre-recorded content. I have a full 2 to 3 hour class. Can't remember how long this one is, somewhere in there. And it is an absolute deep dive. This is the one to get into for the person who is looking for 1 hour of content a week. If you're doing half an hour, do the food as medicine sessions. If you're like, I got an hour a week I can do, Luca, then I want you to get into the Vitality Gut class. This is the absolute deep dive that just ties everything together on how much the gut has a role to play in every bodily system and every function in the body. Now, we've also got some written content at the end. We've got recipes. Each month there's 5, the same ones that are in my subscription service. You've got a weekly good food challenge. And this, just to show you what we did this morning, or on Monday morning rather, posted about meat stock. So ways to enjoy it, the difference between meat stock and bone broth, how to repurpose your meat stock, what to do with it now that you've made it, extras in case you need more recipes on how to make it, and then some low histamine options and all kinds of good things. And then every week, the newest one gets to the top and the others get bumped down below. So if you're away for a week, you can certainly come back. It's not going to be lost. It's there for the whole month. And then we've also got a whole module on eating in alignment with the seasons. I name check this quite a bit as we move through class content. So for those who want to dive a little bit further into what that might look like, then you've got this as an option to dive deeper. It's a great module that is there for 3 months. So set your eyeballs on it to get a good sense of why eating with the seasons is important and how this might better serve you. It's massively important when it comes to gut health, actually. And I've got a brand new video I just built for it that talks about it. So please dive into it, will ya? So these are all the different components of the Good Food Network. So I've also got a main topic here. I want to show you one thing about this. This talks a little bit more, a cursory look at why the gut is so important. Once you finish a whole module, one of the tricks to do is to click on Mark Completed. When you do that, when you go back to your program, you're going to see that it's completed. That means next time you log in, quick glance, oh, I've already looked at this module. I don't have anything else to do in that module. You certainly can view it just by clicking the View button, but that's pretty good. You're covered. It's good. So use that as a great feature to keep track of all those different pieces you can access in the network. There's one last piece I want to tell you about. In the Good Food Network, we have a group chat. You can access it by clicking on this chat button here. I prefer clicking on this button up here. When you click on that button, it's a little chat bubble up top right. When you click on it, it takes you to this page. So this is the group chat within the network. We've got right now 12 people in the group. So you're going to see all sorts of things loaded up in the chat. Every time I do something in the network, if I upload new content, I drop it in the chat so that you're able to go back and see, okay, well, since I checked in last week, 5 days ago, what's new? Oh yeah, I've got all new content on the gut. Okay. Food is medicine last week. Oh, it disappeared. Oh, I can watch it right here. Yes, important. New content. Oh, make meat stock. Oh yeah, right. That's the food challenge of this week. Oh, I want more ideas. Oh, I'll go to the weekly good food challenge module to go see some ideas on how to use it. Exactement. This is also where you can post questions or get a discussion going. If the question you've got is a little bit more private and you're not ready to share it, you can also click on my name. It will be here and you can drop right here. Just type your message, follow the instructions. When you're done, hit this little arrow. It's like sending the letter out onto the airwaves. It comes my way. I say the same thing each time. And here you can just type in your question and it will come to me directly. In order to get back to your program, you click on the button top left. Good Food Network is right there, or through programs. And once you're there, you can scroll through all of the modules. So that's a little bit of a behind the scenes peek at what it is we do in the Good Food Network. So if you're concerned about dietary restrictions or any kind of dietary preference, I want you to know that you're covered in the Good Food Network. If you've got dairy-free if you've got gluten-free, if you are in particular eating paleo these days, or perhaps approaching this from a low histamine perspective, or egg-free or whatever. I have all of these dietary considerations put into the mix. I don't go so far as to do low FODMAP or low salicylates or low oxalates. We just don't have there's only so many things I can do, but I'll tell you, we do have dairy-free, gluten-free, and low histamine options at the ready for anybody and everybody who's joining us, so that you can amend the recipes or know which ones to hang on to until the flare is down. And that's what the goal is going to be, isn't it? So who is this Good Food Network for? I got to tell you, this Good Food Network I built for the person who is self-driven, who's ready to take those consistent steps in search of that better health piece. Like, give it a moment. What are the symptoms you've got going on? What would it be like for those to skip town and get out of your life? Wouldn't that be so nice? Okay, to get there, here's the work you need to do. Are you self-motivated? Are you the person who can sit down once a week, half an hour, dive into the content, take that, go and put it into your life? It's awesome. You're going to be well suited to the Good Food Network. It's also for anyone who's tired of figuring everything out by themselves, or the person who, I'm hearing this so much from clients right now. Well, I type it into ChatGPT, not clients, people who are like unable to join as clients for many different reasons, which I honor all the reasons. I hear you. But they're using ChatGPT as a sounding board. I need to tell you this. I love ChatGPT as much as the next person. However, ChatGPT is a yes man. And a ChatGPT will tell you yes to your question and will figure out how to tell you yes to your question most of the time. It's not an actual person giving you recommendations based on lived experience, deep knowledge, and deep dives and a degree. You'll get what you'll get. I cannot guarantee that the information you'll get on ChatGPT is necessarily effective. If you're the person who's also going to social media and trying to glean just the free stuff from what people are posting, you need to know that people post the free stuff to try to hook you into coming into their services they offer. I am no different. That's what the Good Food Network offers at an affordable entry-level price point. It's $40 a month, in order to get you acquainted with what are those things that you can do to help yourself. So it's for anyone who's really super tired of having to figure this out on their own and who's not ready to do the one-on-one coaching. This Good Food Network is the very best way in, especially if you've got complex health issues, histamine and mast cells at the root. It is not for anybody who's looking for instant results. I'll be very clear on this. I've said it already in this session. I think nutrition is great to help when there is long-term acute or chronic stuff that's been going on. Nutrition is not for acute things. And the nutrition I'm talking about will never be about weight loss, because I can't guarantee that, especially when we're talking about a group program. Weight loss is such an individualized metabolic health dysregulation and hormonal dysregulation that we can't do it in a weight loss group thing. I just can't. It's impossible. And it's not going to be offered through the Good Food Network. What is offered through the Good Food Network, though, is the solutions and the ideas on what to put moving forward. They're not quick fixes, but they are ways to shift how you move through your day, shift thinking how you feed yourself and anyone who's at your table. So if you're looking for that, a lot of what we do is steeped in traditions from our ancestors. A lot of what we do is also deeply, deeply steeped in science. And a lot of what I like to do is just make it funny and practical and easy to navigate, because if it's complicated, if it's convoluted, it's going to stress you out. And anywhere we're adding stress, we're undoing what it is we're trying to do. So at every turn, I always encourage you. You're the boss. How much of this do you want to take on? You get to pick and choose. And I'm going to give you from a fountain of abundance, because I'm living on the side of abundance, pal, and I'm here to remind you there is abundance in the world. So I'm going to be a part of the abundance conversation, and you'll come in and you'll pick what it is you need off the top of the pile and you'll leave the rest. So if you feel like your life is already full, I don't want you to worry. The content is bite-sized, especially those weekly sessions we do on Thursday morning. They're called the Food as Medicine sessions. They're half an hour long. The first 22 minutes is the science. The last 8 to 10 minutes is the to-do work. You start to get to know the lay of the place. You'll get to know what part you need. Do you need the reasons why? Do you want to skip them and just get to the to-do work? Now you get how the system works. So if you're putting in half an hour a week, it's going to be enough work to see a real shift over time in what it is that's happening in your body and those symptoms. But only if you put into place those ideas that I talk about and the recommendations I bring forth. Yeah, I mean, you can listen to the videos, but are you doing the work? That's the question. So if this feels like the support that you've been looking for, I'm going to tell you how to join today. There's going to be a link below this video you're watching. If you don't see the link, click on Show More and you'll see the link there. Sign up to join us in the Good Food Network. It's a subscription service. $40 gets you started right in the first week. If you don't like it by the end of the first week, send me a message. I'll take you out and I'll reimburse you, and I'll take the $7 loss I don't get because of the costs of all the other things I do. I'll take the hit because I'm pretty sure you will find good content in it. Yeah. I want you to click the link in the caption below the video. Sign up. You will have immediate access to so much content just to get you started right away. This is your chance to finally have guidance, to have some clarity, to have some simplifying, some demystifying, and some goal setting and consistency without getting overwhelmed. So the only thing left to do for you, my friend, is to take that first step. Come and join us in the Good Food Network. Can't wait to see you there. I had some potential FAQs at the end that I dreamed up in case of, so that we could address some questions in case there were some that couldn't join us live. So listen, if you feel you don't have time, I'll tell you, only need half an hour a week. Small, consistent bites will get you the results. And using that one-page worksheet is how you achieve it. And actually doing what's on that worksheet once you jot them down. If you get easily overwhelmed, we simplify steps in the Good Food Network so that you can actually stick with them. I give you specifics. I don't just go into, butter is so great for you. It's so great. It helps with this. Have some butter. Bye. That would be great for me, but it wouldn't be great for you. I get right down to butter is great for this and this and this. Oh, can't handle butter? Try this. Oh, can't handle dairy at all? Oh, try this. Oh, how much? Well, do you have your gallbladder out? This much. Oh, are you postmenopausal? This much. Oh, do you have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease? Oh, this much. Oh, do you not have any? Oh, this much. Oh, do you have children? Okay, go for this much every day. So we go into what the practical, super specific ways to do this work are. It's not just out here. It is kitchen, me sitting over your shoulder, chirping in your ear, telling you what to do. And soon you're just going to alter how you prepare your meals, and it's just going to become how you move through your day. It becomes a part of you, and that's the goal. If you have histamine or mast cell issues, I want you to know we give practical strategies for sensitive systems throughout the entire classes and everything that is provided under the umbrella of the Good Food Network. So you too are invited to this table. If you've got chronic or complex health conditions, everything that I deliver in the Good Food Network has been designed for those who have ongoing health challenges, who may not feel the capacity or the ability to join us for those one-on-one sessions. If you're somebody who's looking for results, I need you to know that nutrition and the consistency of these ideas are how you build a solid foundation. And for these next 2 months, it's all about the gut. When you build this gut foundation, now metabolism works better, inflammation lessens, histamine issues are not as rampant nor as loud as they used to be, and you start to see a reduction in those symptoms. Most every other symptom that has ever existed, according to man, has a gut component. that's what we start to see. We see results when you do the work. If you have any dietary preferences, you have the capacity to adapt to your needs and the recipes within the umbrella of the Good Food Network. This is all good stuff steeped in ancestral wisdom, traditional foods. There's a seasonal bent to things. There's so many ways in. If you've done any kind of previous programs before and you're worried, I don't know, is this going to sort of double up? I want you to know this is not just info. It is practical, yeah, actionable guidance that is always the most up-to-date information behind it. So if you're like, I've taken some of your classes, Luca. Okay, are you doing the things we talked about? No. Don't look at me, Luca. Oh, well, then come and join us in the Good Food Network because we'll help you get these ideas back on track. It's the same ideas I've been talking about for 10 years. That's the secret. Real food is not a trend, pal. Real food is the way I propose going forward. It's not the hot ticket item for 6 months. It is how we're going to set you up for metabolic health. How do I know? It is what has served your ancestors for eons and has brought you to today. The things we are doing in our current day and age are messing with the magic of what was. Let's get you back. I see the Good Food Network as this way to bridge the old with the new and help you bring the two together, to bring some of the old ways into how to make it applicable to today without having to be in the kitchen for 8 hours every day. That's not what I propose. I want it practical, I want it delicious, and I want it nourishing so that your symptoms are in the rearview mirror. Join us in the Good Food Network. Can't wait to see you there. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time. Salut, à bientôt.